rock your body. Hey, everybody. Happy Thursday, day of Thurs. I'm so glad that you guys are here. We've already got everybody going in the chat. I know I'm a little bit early, per usual. So let me jump over here. Hey, we got a new member, Georgia. Hey there. Thank you so much for becoming a member. Listen, when you become a member, make sure you go back and watch all of the member-only content because there's some real gems in there. So definitely go check that out. Okay, the chat is jumping. I got to scroll. Hey, Linda's here. Look, Linda, are you starting us off with a question right off the bat? I love you for that. Okay, let's just jump right into it. Okay. So Linda says, what is the best way to meet your protein intake without adding too many calories at the same time? This is the age-old question of calories. So, Linda, this is a great question. And I think that it's important to remember that you want to prioritize protein, obviously, right? It's important. And it can be challenging to stay in a calorie deficit at the same time. Like the number of calories per protein is not going to change. Depending on how you're consuming the protein, right? If it's like a whole food or if you're doing a protein bar or a protein shake, right? That can kind of vary. So what I do, what works great for me is I like to offset calories with fiber. And for the most part, I do that with vegetables because vegetables are very low in calorie, right? So you can eat more of them. They're low in calorie. And that frees up those calories so that you can then use those for protein. But, it's also important to look at your macros and your calories as they are over the week, right? So I encourage people to track their calories every day. I think that can be a very helpful tool. It's not a one size fits all, right? Some people don't like to do it. But you should also look at your calories over the week. For example, so my shot day is Friday. I am really struggling today. Just so you know. I'm starving. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, right? My calories tend to be a little bit lower because that's when the suppression is at its peak. And then as the week goes on, and then we come up on Thursday, right? So I may, at the beginning of the week, be consuming under my calories, which you don't want to do every day, right? That's not ideal. But then as the week goes on, I do kind of normal during the week, right? And then maybe on Thursday, i.e. today, I eat a little bit more because I'm hungrier. So you want to make sure that you're tracking everything, but also you want to look at the bigger picture. So yeah, Linda, great question. I hope that helps. Hey, Kate the Great. Kate the Great. Hey, just had my teeth cleaned in preparation for the shenanery. Yeah, you did? Are they looking fantabulous? I have one of those. I've actually been seeing a lot of commercials for them. It looks like a dental tool, right? And it's like the ultrasonic. It's got the little metal piece on it, and you can, get the plaque from behind your teeth. I thought for so long that was a gimmicky thing until I bought one. I love it. And now when I go into my dentist, they're always like, oh, yours, this is usually so good, especially like right in the back of these front bottom ones is where it usually, piles up. But yeah, and my visits are so much better now. Not that that's what you asked about, Kate. You were just sharing that you got your teeth cleaned, but I thought I would expand on it. So love that for you. Tammy's in the house. GLC 1411. Dun, dun, dun. They are also in the house. Hello. Hey, Janet's here. Hey, Janet. Good evening, everyone, and beautiful Allie. Thank you, beautiful Janet. You are so sweet. Yay, Goody Doris. Hello. Striga's in the house. Woo, 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 woo. Hey, is that Nurse Tara? All right. Hey. Tara, she posts on my videos daily. Love you, Tara. And she's always like, "Are you gonna go live tonight? Are you gonna go? Hey, when's the next time you're going live?" So here I am. I am the live. So Tara, I'm so glad you're here. Gabriel's in the house. Hi, this is my first live. Well, hi there. Hello. Welcome. I hope that you enjoy the fun and the shenanery. If you have a question, then you can throw it up in the chat. You can put a QQQ in front of it. That helps me see it as I'm scrolling through. Yeah, we're all here to support each other. And we get kind of silly while we do it. But yeah, but I'm here to help. So Shelly's in the house. Shelly's got the wavy face and the hearty face. Love that. Hey there. Triple digit Texas. I want to say that I saw you post somewhere that your screen name has changed. I'm hoping the picture looks familiar and this looks familiar. So let me know if I'm right about that. If I'm wrong, I'm so sorry. I've confused you with somebody else. I try to remember people, but it can be very challenging. Nancy's in the house. Hey, looking forward to following you. Yeah, absolutely. Nancy, we'd love to have you. Make sure if you have questions, you put them in the chat, because otherwise I just keep going through. Looks like Cheryl's got a question. Okay, Cheryl, what do we got going on? Help with sulfur burps. Oh my gosh. Sulfur burps are the worst. I mean, of all the side effects, I gotta say that aside from having a side effect that's really extreme or painful, right? Obviously, that would take the cake. But of the lesser side effects, in my opinion, sulfur burps is the worst. I'm like, who invented this? They should be fired. My doctor was useless. It's time for a new doctor. Yeah, I say that all the time. Yeah, so there are a couple of ways to tackle the challenge of sulfur burps. First and foremost, if you're tracking what you're eating, if you can figure out the last thing that you ate, that will be a huge help. So for example, I really struggled, especially early on in my GLP-1 journey, with red sauces. So anything tomato-based, right? It was like instant sulfur burps. And I was like, okay, I got to cut back on the tomatoes. I got to cut back on tomato because I eat a ton of tomatoes. Me and tomatoes, we go way back. So I was like, all right, I'm going to have to cut this back because these sulfur burps are just killing me. So, so tracking what you eat and making note of, hey, this was the last thing I ate before I had the sulfur burps, that can really help you. The other thing is digestive enzymes. And if you go to any of my videos and drop down into the description box, it will be linked there. There's a super affordable option. I get mine on Amazon. And it's just a papaya enzyme. So it's really easy for your body to utilize. And what the digestive enzyme does is it just helps you to digest the food. It doesn't speed anything up. It doesn't do anything crazy, right? There's no outlandish claims when it comes to digestive enzymes. It's just going to help you with whatever is in your stomach. Of course, you can go the route of like an antacid or something like that. Me personally, I didn't feel like they helped. So it was just kind of pointless to me. Also, I would have a secondary issue if I tried to do like an antacid, where I would go from having sulfur burps to having acid reflux, right? Because then you've lowered the acid in your stomach, but your stomach is still digesting food, right? So you're on this roller coaster of just trying to get things under control. It can be very frustrating. So track what you're eating, digestive enzymes. Even on days where it seems like it's everything that you're eating, the great thing about digestive enzymes, you cannot overdose on them. There were days where I would be eating 5 of them after every single meal. And I mean, they have saved me so many times. So Cheryl, give that a try and see if that works for you. Some of the common triggers for sulfur burps is leafy greens, right? If they're challenging to digest, it can happen. Eggs, protein, such as like a steak or pork or something that sits a bit heavier than, say, poultry. Tomato-based or red-based sauces, right? Anything spicy. These are just some examples that I have seen and I have experienced. So yeah, if you can figure out what the culprit is, then you can kind of help yourself through it. And the other thing I want to mention, Cheryl, you've got me on a roll here. I love this. The other thing I want to mention with sulfur burps is if you figure out, for example, red pasta sauce is your culprit, it gives you sulfur burps every time. That doesn't mean that you can never have red sauce ever again. It just means that maybe what you want to do is wait a while, maybe until you go to your next dose or something like that. And you may want to take digestive enzymes before you eat and then after you eat, right? There's a lot of different kind of trial and error you can do, but I don't want anybody to walk away feeling like, oh, now I've got sulfur burps because of my favorite thing. I can never eat it again. It's kind of a process. I used to not be able to do spicy food. You should have seen me eating some Indian food the other night. So it just depends on how your body kind of acclimates over time. Cheryl, I hope that this helps. Hey, oh my goodness, is this another Cheryl? We got 2 Cheryls in the house back to back? I think that means that we should all play the lottery. Okay, well, another Cheryl. Is that a sheepy? Do you have a sheepy as your profile picture? And you're from New Zealand? Recently found your channel. That is so awesome. I want to go to New Zealand so bad. So bad. It's beautiful. The people are awesome. Like, I just don't think I've ever heard anything bad about New Zealand. It's like, today, someone helped an old lady across the street in the news, right? I'm sure you guys have stuff that's going on, but I don't ever hear anything bad about New Zealand. Okay. Cheryl, so glad you're here. Hey, you'll have to let me know what time it is there. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Let me know what time it is. Dr. Jones! He was not very happy about that video. Hey, all right. Hey, everybody. Hello. Miggy's Pins. Yes. I'm probably saying that wrong. I'm so sorry. Pammy in the house. Hey there. Hey, look, here's Venus. Venus is here. Hello. Allie, I'm here for the shenane. I'm here for the shenane too. And the shenanery. I think it cut you off there while you were typing. Roxanne, you don't have to put on the red light. Hey, I'm sure you've never heard that in your entire life. Hey, Roxanne, I'm so glad you're here. Hey, I was right. Triple digit Texas. So you did change your name. The thing is, I don't remember what your name was before. But hey, I'm glad you're here. Oh my goodness. It's my girl, Spoonie Magoomy. Spoonie Magoomy, Spoonie Magoomy. And for those of you who are new, because we've got some newbies in the house tonight, I just want you to know that every time I see Spoonie's name pop up anywhere, doesn't matter if it's on somebody else's channel, doesn't matter if it's on her TikTok, doesn't matter if she's commenting on one of my things, I sing that song every single time. Why? We may never know. It's just how my brain works. Hey there. All right. Oh, triple digit Texas. It was Genealogy Mama. Okay. Okay. That helps me. Thank you. That's so cool. Everybody changing up their names. Wayne. Wayne's in the house. All right. Hey, Allie, are you planning on staying on a high dose in maintenance? Liz. Oh, it's Liz. It's not Wayne. Liz is masquerading as Wayne to confuse me. Well, Liz, do I plan on staying on a high dose in maintenance? So I am kind of like the GLP1 beta tester person. So I have a lot of people that have been reaching out to me regarding maintenance, and they need help. Their doctors are not helpful. They're like, I don't know what to do. Do I stay at a high dose? Do I space it out? Do I do this? Do I do that? So to answer your question, I will be doing all of the things. I know, right? You're like, great, Allie, how is that going to help me? So I am going to test out each and every type of maintenance and then bring you guys along for the ride. So I'll be coming down in dose. I'll be spacing out dosing, and I'll be tracking my symptoms, how I'm feeling, my weight loss, right? Or weight gain, or whatever happens, right? I'm going to do all of that to try to give people some more anecdotal information so that they can make better choices about what might be a good fit for them, right? They could take that information, go talk to their doctor. So my plan for maintenance is to try all of the things. I think that there are a lot of people that are doing too many things at one time. And I actually just talked about this in a video recently. They're going down in dose, they're spreading out their doses, they're adding another medication, right? And it's too much all at one time. If you have challenges or something's not working, is it because of this other medication? Is it because you're spacing them out? Is it because you came down in dose? You're not going to know. So by doing each thing in its own kind of time frame and seeing how that works for me, right? It'll provide people with more information. But I do want to mention that if you are someone who is in maintenance at a high dose and you are taking it every 7 days and you feel great and you have stopped losing weight and you're able to consume, right, a good amount of calories, maintenance level calories, then there's no reason why you can't stay on a high dose. I know that there's kind of like this weird competitive stigma type thing that goes on where it's like, well, I only have to take 2.5. Well, I only have to do 7. Well, I only have to do 15, right? Like your dose does not matter. That's between you, your doctor, and your body. What matters is you're doing whatever is best for you. So I hope that answers your question because I'm excited about maintenance. I'm excited to try all the different ways, although I have a feeling that some of them will be more painful than others, not like pain, but just, challenging. Hey, first live. Hey there. Who is this? Lil Bell? Lil Bell 98? I'm so glad that you're here. Thank you for joining. Okay, Linda, another challenge for me. I'm calculating calories faithfully while difficult because I make homemade meals. Okay. And I feel it's contributing to continued food noise. I'm in early week 5 injection. Okay. Here's the thing. Listen, Linda. Listen. When you're doing homemade meals, especially when you're just starting out, I can tell from your profile picture that you can cook. I can tell. You've got that, a family member trained me how to do the awesome cooking, just that smile on your face. It just says it all. So, what I would recommend is keep it simple. When I first started out, I was like, I'm going to do these TikTok recipes. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And I've got this recipe and it's got all the protein and everything. And it's got, 20 gabillion ingredients. It makes it so challenging. And it also makes it so that you really have to rely on the appetite suppression, right? So that you're not eating too much of a something. So, what I recommend is when you're first starting out, in your first 3 or 4 months, keep it simple. There were weeks where I did a grilled chicken Caesar salad wrap with a high fiber wrap every day for lunch. Now, I know that for some people, that's going to sound crazy. It's like, what? You had the same lunch every day? Don't you get sick of it? You would think so, but it actually takes away a lot of the decision fatigue, and it also takes away the frustration with calculating and additional food noise. Because if you're just doing something simple, and simple doesn't have to mean it doesn't taste good. I go through kicks where I'm like, okay, I want this chicken Caesar wrap. Okay, I want this sushi bowl. Okay, I want this high fiber cereal for lunch, right? Like you can change it up. But by not having a casserole with, 20 ingredients, it can really help you to keep track of things. So I would encourage you to simplify. Still make the things that you love, but see if you can make a simplified version, right? That was really helpful for me. So Linda, I hope that helps you. Losing it, Grace. It's shenanery time. Yes, it is. Everybody take a drink. Yeah. I am drinking grape Gatorade. Let me know what you guys are drinking. Stay hydrated. Hydration is key. Okay. Oh, triple digit transition. That's what the TX is. Love that. So not Texas. I'm so sorry. I didn't know. I'm so used to people putting their state right in their name. So triple digit, I got you. Thank you for clarifying. Okay. Pamela, yes. Sulfur burps. My husband can smell them a mile away. Gross. Yeah. Yeah, they can be pretty gnarly. Pretty gnarly, dude. And it's challenging because it's terrible for you and then it's terrible for everybody else too. And God forbid you're in public, right? Then it's the worst. Hey, DJ's in the house. Hey there. How's it going? So glad you're here. Hey, Nurse Tara's got a question. Pew, pew, pew. Do you think different compound company... Let me try to read again. Do you think different compound pharmacies, TERS, work better than others? This is a good question. I've heard another creator say they all work the same. I'm using a vial from a new pharmacy, Wells, and I'm not so sure. So this one is hard to answer. And let me kind of bracket this by saying that I don't think that any of the compound pharmacies are doing anything harmful on purpose, right? But there are variations even within the name brand medication, right? No 2 weeks are exactly the same. At least they're not for me. I wish they would be. I wish they would be, peak suppression and I feel fantastic and I have tons of energy and right, all the things, reduced inflammation, and then I didn't have to worry about anything else and no side effects, right? So even with name brand, there's some variation. And lately, this has been a really big conversation when it comes to people who are getting name brand shipped to their house, right? Or there was somebody that was complaining in one of the support groups specifically about switching from CVS pharmacy because they felt like their medication wasn't as potent. This is name brand, mind you. And they were concerned that it had to do with something that they were doing, like they weren't keeping it refrigerated or something. So, do I think that different compounds pharmacies, tirzepatide, work better than others? Yes and no. I have found purely anecdotal research, guys, just take this with a grain of salt. You know me, I ain't a doctor, but I also tap into a lot of what's going on in the community. So one thing that I've noticed is that for some people, it all depends on how it's diluted, right? So not necessarily the component. Oh, I just got a notification that Dave's on TikTok. Okay, great. It just like popped up in the corner there. Hey, on the pen, it's on TikTok. Thanks, buddy. So it's the dilution, right? Not necessarily what it's diluted with, right? B6, B12, this, that, the other, NAD, blah, 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 blah. But the amount in which it's diluted. So, for example, I was with a telehealth company and they made all of their doses 50 units, right? I know why they did this. They did this to try to keep people from being dum-dums and overdosing themselves, right? Because they can't read instructions. So, but that changes the dilution when you're at 2.5, 5, right? So you're getting, so at 2.5, that's a lot of dilution to get you to 50 units. So I think that, and it's again, just my opinion, I think that for many people, especially when they are, telehealth hopping and trying all these different pharmacies, do I think there's going to be a slight difference? Yes. Also, many of them are doing custom dosing on top of, right, whatever their standard dilution is. So it can be challenging. If you went from a highly concentrated, less diluted type of tirzepatide to a highly diluted tirzepatide, but they're both the same dose, that may feel differently to you. Again, I don't have any research on this. It's just my opinion, but you asked. So I'm telling you my thoughts. So yeah, I think that for many people, they are just that sensitive and it feels different. Yeah. Not to mention if they're going from one company to another and the dosage is slightly different, right? Which happens a lot. But yeah, Tara, great question. Great question. Hey, Darlene says Pepto-Bismol for sulfur burps. Yes, that's a good one. I prefer the liquid, right? Because it kind of kicks in faster. But even for me, that didn't cure it. But yes, that's a good quick fix. Okay. Got another question from Roxanne. Roxanne's still here. She's not insulted by my singing. Thank you, Roxanne. Okay. Allie, did you have sulfur burps on 2.5 or did they start at higher doses for you? Yes, it started at 2.5 for me. So it went from 2.5 to 5. Mind you, I was on 2.5 for 13 weeks. I was on 5 for like ever and a day. By the time I got to the end of my time on 5, I was doing a lot better and I had kind of narrowed it down. So once I went to 7.5, like I didn't have sulfur burps anymore, and I rarely do now. I mean, I can't even remember the last time I had them. So, and I think part of that is just moving up slowly through the doses, and part of it is your body acclimating, right, to the medication. So, Madonna Designs, first time on live. Hey, I'm so glad you're here. Let me know if you have a question. I love it. We got so many new people here tonight. It's fantastic. Okay. Gabrielle says, I took my third shot of 2.5 tirzepatide yesterday. I woke up at 4 a.m. completely stuffed up. Could this be a side effect from the GLP-1? So this happens to me sometimes too. And I'm on 15, so, but it's happened to me my entire time. I'm not sure what it's all about. I don't know. There are also people who will wake up at 3 or 4 a.m. and be wide awake. So for me, I found that changing my filter, right, the air filter in the house, and washing my pillow more often helped. I don't know if it just, like being on tirzepatide made me more sensitive to whatever. I don't know. But that definitely helped. And then as far as like waking up at 4 a.m. goes, I don't have a cure for that. I still do it sometimes. But as far as the stuffed up part goes, the other thing that I would say is watch out that you are not consuming a lot of milk products at night, right, for dinner. So if you're doing a lot of cheese, a lot of milk, a lot of cream, you're doing a protein shake that's milk-based, right? One of the downsides to lactose, right, is that it causes us to create more mucus, right? Sorry, I know that sounds yucky, but it's true. So if you're doing something that's high in cheese, high in milk, right, protein shake at night, cut that back and do it earlier in the day and see if that helps you so you're not, waking up stuffed up. Great question. You guys are like really killing it with the questions tonight. Hey, DJ says, I tried split dosing for 2 weeks, didn't seem to work, going back to once a week. Okay. Yeah, split dosing it's not for everybody. It really depends on what you're trying to achieve. So let me know, DJ, were you doing it because you were having a lot of side effects? Were you doing it to try to, have consistent satiety, right? And appetite suppression through the week? Let me know what your goals were and let me know how far apart you were doing your doses. Okay, when you split them, maybe I can help you because I've done split dosing for a long time. So yeah, let me know. Okay. Tara says, I'm thinking I will use my branded Zep for 2 weeks and see if there's a difference. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Hey, Winnie B is in the house. Hey there. All right, Kate the Great. Kate the Great. Allie is not fibbing. I'm usually not. Those super papaya enzyme plus supplements she recommends are awesome. Yes, they are. I would love to contact the company and tell them like, hey, I'm the biggest proponent of your product. Like I am out there I would hand it out to people for free if I was a millionaire. I'd be like, hey, you want to feel great? Take this digestive enzyme everywhere you go. I have it in every purse that I just keep like a little, it's these little tiny Ziploc bags you can get on Amazon. They're just little tiny ones. And I keep some in every purse that I have. So no matter what I'm doing, where I'm going, I don't have to remember to put it in there. It's just in every bag. Love that stuff. Kate is right. When he says red meat gives me terrible sickening sulfur burps, it's very, very bad. Yeah, that happened to me in the beginning too. But like I said, it got better over time. In the beginning, I couldn't eat red meat or pork at all. It was strictly chicken and turkey for a meat source for me. Like I couldn't do seafood. It would just, it felt like there was a brick in my stomach. It was just awful. But then, right, my body acclimated over time, and now I can eat a steak with the best of them. Hey, Mary Lynn Elizabeth 1631. That sounds like an exclusive club that you would see in a movie. Oh yeah, we're going down to Mary Lynn Elizabeth 1631. Yeah, we're going down there. And it would have like this Victorian kind of look to it, right? You're going down in the dark and like the men are wearing the top hats. This is what I'm envisioning. Okay? Are you with me? Did I lose you? Don't go anywhere. Don't go. Okay. Hey there. Hello, Allie. Love you. Love your videos. Hey, I love you. I'm driving home from work while listening. Thank you. Well, listen, I just turned your name into a, vintage club while you're driving. So please drive safely. That's too funny. All right. Sasha's in the house. What is the name of the teeth picker thing you're talking about? Oh, Sasha. Now you put me on the spot. Uno momento. Talk amongst yourselves. Oh no, it doesn't have a brand name on it. Can't believe it doesn't have a brand name on it. Okay, well, this is what it looks like, if you can see it. Here, let me take the top off so you can see what it looks like. This is what it looks like. Okay, hopefully you can see that. It's got all these different settings. I'll find the link for you, Sasha. And maybe I'll do a video on it, and I'll find the link for you and put it in there. All right, I'm going to leave this right here so I've got my reminder. Man, I was hoping it had like a brand name on it. I don't remember. I saw it in like a infomercial and I was like, sold. Anyway, best purchase. So I'll look at my Amazon and see if I bought it on there. I'll figure it out for you, Sasha. So just sit tight on that one. I'll make you a little short video and link it for you. Okay. Linda says, yeah, generic Prilosec. Yep, antacid before eating breakfast works great for me. Completely eradicated all indigestion from my GERD. Yeah, that's awesome. It works for a lot of people. It does. Cheryl sent hearts. Thank you, Cheryl. Thank you for the hearts. Is it because I said sheepy? Because your picture is a sheepy? Cheryl, is that why you sent me hearts? Spoony Megumi. Don't even get me started on Dr. Jones. Yeah. Yeah. It was good times. I heard through the grapevine that he was not very happy with the video that I made about him. It was all in good fun, right? Like, come on. If you're going to get on the interwebs and you're going to be shirtless and making broad sweeping statements, right? Like you're kind of, you're kind of opening yourself up there. I will not be getting on the internet shirtless unless it's in one of my update videos where I show you my goodies or I start an OnlyFans. But that's a story for another day. Yeah, never. What are we saying? Never? Oh, yeah. Does she ever heard that song? Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. It was super cheese, but I love you, Roxanne. Okay. I left my ass. Oh, I laughed my ass off at Dr. Jones' video like I do most of your videos. I'm sorry, but that was just so funny. Yeah, it was funny. Some of those videos are just they're good times. They're good times. Some of the roasty videos are pretty fun. It just depends on what kind of mood you're in. If you want something comical or if you want something, informative, I do it all. So make sure you subscribe. If you're new here and you're not subscribed, what are you doing? Did you like this live? Did you go hit the like button? Because that tells everybody else that this live is fun and it pushes it out to them. So if you haven't hit the like button, please do. If you're watching on the replay, hello, thank you for watching the replay. Make sure you hit the like button. Okay, Cheryl from New Zealand says it's Friday at 1:20 p.m. and my picture is a baby goat. That's even better than a sheepy. Thank you. It's really tiny on my screen, so it's hard for me to see it. But I love that. It's a little goaty goat. It looks red. Beautiful color. Also, Cheryl, how does it feel to be in the future? Can you tell us about the ways of the future? Because here it's Thursday at 6:50 p.m. Central Time. You are living in the future. I love that. The OG, Jess, in the house. Hey there. So glad that you are here. Linda says your videos have been such a big help. Yay, thank you. You're very welcome. I'm so glad. I was waiting for this song. Yeah, every time. Spoonie Megumi. Oh, Midgie. Like small person. Spins yarn. Yes, me. What my grandkids call me. And Gigi, name for a great grandmother. I love that. See, this is somebody who really thought through their entire username. And I love that. I love that, Midgie. Anne Marie says, hey there from Australia. Love your videos. You're a beautiful human. Thank you so much. Good eye. Right? Day? It's day over there? Yeah, good eye. Yeah. Love that. I must be gaining some traction over there on that side of the world. I don't know, because I've had quite a few people that have commented that they are in the Australia, New Zealand-ish, right, type area on my videos lately. Apparently, I'm getting pushed out to you guys, and I love it. I love that. Hey, Deb's here. Hey, Deb. So glad you're here. Okay. Iris says, hi, Allie. Hello. First time I catch you doing a live. I love all your videos. They've helped me so much. Yay. Thank you. Through all my different experiences, GLP1 issues, it's good to see you smiling. Yeah. Well, thank you so much. Thank you for watching my videos and thank you for being here. That's so awesome. You have to let me know, like, where are you? I mean, not like your physical address at this moment. I'm not trying to. Listen, Iris, don't get funny, okay? I'm just saying, like, what state are you in? What country? Let me know. Okay. Everybody's saying hello to each other. Kate the Great. The maintenance part needs attention just as much as the weight loss part does. Yes. Kate is so great for just dropping knowledge bombs like as I've learned being in maintenance since September, 48 pounds lost, 26% of start weight. First of all, you're a rock star. Love that. Second of all, people think that because we've been working our whole lives, for many of us, on this weight loss journey, right? We're like, oh my gosh, if I could just get to my goal weight, I could be happy. I could be this, I could do that, I could do the things, right? That's what we've told ourselves our whole life. And then we get there and we find out that maintenance is just another phase. And while it does change things, right, it still needs attention just as much as the weight loss part does, like Kate said right here. Boop, 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 boop. Yeah. So, Kate, dropping knowledge bombs. Love them. Okay. Iris said, I'm on a high dosage and still losing weight. Yes, only 1 to 2 pounds a week, which is normal, healthy weight loss. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to get rid of that word only, right? We're just going to boop, boop, just drop that off. Losing weight. Yes, 1 to 2 pounds a week, right? It's all in how we talk to ourselves. But from the 250 pounds to now 180, I'm happy. Absolutely. As you should be, because you're a rock star. That's fantastic. And remember, 0 to 2 pounds per week is healthy weight loss. Okay? So it's not only, it just is. Okay. Hey, Vicky's got a Q. Do you think you will try the pills when they come out? Me? No. So, Vicky, this is a great question. It depends on which pills you're referring to. So, for example, there have been a lot of telehealth companies that are investing in the research to create like tirzepatide in a pill, in a lozenge, as drops, right? They're working on all of this stuff because there is a market for it. And there are a lot of people that don't like to do shots, right? And I get that. So, do I think I will try pills when they come out? It depends. If I'm in maintenance, right, then that opens up a lot of freedom when it comes to testing out other products. If I'm still actively trying to lose weight, which technically I still am, then I probably wouldn't, because I don't think, just my personal opinion, I don't think pills and drops and lozenges and sublinguals and things like that, I don't think that they're going to be potent enough to help the majority of us to actively lose weight. Now, I've already been following people that are testing those items, right, that the compound pharmacies are making with telehealth companies. And for the most part, it is pretty consistent across the board that those people are maintaining. They're not losing weight. So I think that pills, again, depending on what it is, are going to be a great option that may be less expensive, much easier covered by insurance, and could be a fantastic option for people in maintenance. So, but I gotta tell you, I really love my tirzepatide. I love the way it makes me feel. I love my NAD. I don't know that I would switch to a pill, but I'm not gonna poo-poo it because I know there's a lot of really fantastic stuff in the works. So we shall wait and see. Kate, great. Kate, so great. Kate is great. Great, great. Kate. I did titrate down and come off a couple weeks and gained enough that the doctor has me back on 2.5 for a month, and I'm back to my weight maintain. Yeah, we'll try 1.5 milligrams tomorrow. We'll keep you posted. Yeah, please do. Please do. I'm always interested. Excuse me. And hearing from people that have come off the meds and then they're restarting it, because it's such a mixed review. Some people do great. Like you were talking about, you titrated down, you came off for a couple weeks, then you gained weight, then you went back on it, you're at a very low dose, you're seeing success, right? So, but everybody is so different. There are some people that, and I find this really happening a lot in the Zepbound group where people are really struggling when it comes to the cost of these medications. And so they'll be on Zepbound for a few months paying out of pocket or covered by insurance, but then insurance no longer covers it. Thanks, insurance. Or they can no longer afford it. So then they're coming off. So then a few months later, they're getting back on and they're struggling. They're not getting the same results that they did the first time around. So it's all very, very interesting to me. But yeah, definitely keep me posted. Jazzy's in the house. Hey, Jazzy. Ooh. All right. Midgie, she's drinking the calculus watermelon. Calculus? I can't read Celsius. Okay, I'm going to tell you guys a funny story. Okay, Midgie, this one's for you. So just like just then with the misreading, this is really common with ADD. My brain just like gets going too fast and I just say the wrong thing. When I was in high school, I had one of those teachers that used to do that thing that most of us hated, which was where they would make you read out loud to keep people from falling asleep in class. So this was a biology class. So we're reading and it comes around to me and it's my turn. And I used to hate to read out loud because some of these biology terms, like they can get pretty big. And I was always afraid I was going to say the wrong thing, right? Typical high school girl. Well, I did, in fact, say the wrong thing one time. And so I was reading and we were talking about these microorganisms. And about the third time that I went to say organism, I said orgasm. When I tell you that that room lit up in laughter like the 4th of July, if you could imagine how red my face was, it was crazy. Anyway, it was one of those moments just like this one where I said calculus watermelon. Okay, there you go. Little story time for you guys. Okay. Roxanne said, I found these awesome flavor packet sticks from Sonic lemonade flavors. Yes. 10 calories for the whole pack, but I don't use a whole pack in my water. Me too. I love the cherry limeade, and my favorite is the ocean water. Now, if you really like ocean water, Ghost, the brand Ghost, they make ocean water flavored like electrolyte stuff, pre-workout, a whole bunch of different stuff in that flavor. So if you like the ocean water flavor, go for it. Because I love to have it on hand. And then if you're somebody who likes to do an electrolyte drink, right, every now and then, it's a tasty, delicious option. Because there's nothing that makes me more crazy than when companies do stuff like that and they're like, Sonic ocean water, and then you taste it and it's garbage. That makes me crazy. Okay. I'm curious on your take. Are you ready? I think I'm seeing a shift in the GNRL community. Which community is that? About changing doses on their own without at least letting their doctor or prescriber know what they are pinning seems too Wild West. Oh, it is the Wild Wild West. Oh, absolutely. I see this quite a bit in the support groups where people are just like, "Oh, what about this?" There was somebody that posted in one of the I think it was the Zepbound group where they were doing Zepbound vials, and they were like, "Hey, my doctor just called in my new prescription. It'll be here in a few days, but I've got 2 vials left of such and such dose. Can I add them together to go ahead and get started?" Right? I'm like, people, people. So it's just one of those things. Um, it's very wild, wild west. Now, if you are somebody that wants to do a ton of research and you know all of the parameters when it comes to GLP1s, peptides, right? And you're doing your thing and you want to make small adjustments, I think that's perfectly fine if you talk to your doctor about it. So, for example, when I first started NAD, I did not want to start out at the starter dose that company wanted me to start out at because I was like, you know what? I was a hyper responder with GLP-1. Let me start out the NAD really, really low and let's see how I feel. So that's exactly what I did. But I didn't just do it. I talked to my doctor about it. And I was like, hey, this is my thought process. This is why I want to do it. And he was like, well, I can't prescribe it to you that way because that's not how we have it set up. And I said, okay, but do you approve? And he was like, yeah, I mean, you're taking less than the recommended dose. It's not going to hurt you, right? Especially with NAD. Like you would have to get like really wild and crazy to overdose on NAD. I think one of the worst side effects that it has is it'll give you a headache, which I've never had from NAD. So anyway, but I still had the conversation. I think a lot of people, because their doctors are not like these telehealth doctors where they're being actively educated on everything that's going on, right? They just don't feel confident in what their doctors will say. Um, there was one lady who watched my NAD video and she's like, I'm going to talk to my doctor tomorrow. I have an appointment. I said, great. Yeah. In the next day's video, she commented and she was like, hey, I went to my doctor. He didn't even know what NAD was. Right. And then I was like, well, okay, well, let me set you up with the telehealth company and see if this is a good fit for you. Right. Like, and people get very frustrated by that. And I think that along with seeing other people that are just winging it, pew, pew, wild, wild west style, right? Just doing whatever they want. I think the combination of those two things creates this kind of atmosphere that you're talking about. You know, lack of education, both on the part of the person and the doctor. And then also it's the, well, they're doing it, so I can do it too kind of mentality. So, yeah. Yeah, and sometimes it goes wrong. Like the lady that I, followed her trail of videos where she overdosed herself on semaglutide, right? I'm like, and then not long after that, she was talking about split dosing. And I was like, honey, you don't even know what your dosage is in milligrams. You talk about it in units. You do not need to be doing nothing without a doctor standing over your shoulder, right? Like some people are a little more independent than others. Some people need more hand holding, and that's perfectly fine. It's good for everybody. But at the same time, right? As we're out there watching it happen, we got to be careful. Okay, DJ said I can't say I've had any sulfur burps. Well, that's good. Consider yourself lucky. You don't want them. Trust me. It's not fun. I had to resort to text wording to fit my cue in the question. Okay, no problem. I totally get it. Hey, Charlotte from Texas here. Everything's bigger in Texas. I am taking Mag Energy with B vitamins. What other supplements do I need to take? Well, this is a great question, Charlotte from Texas. So what you want to do is, and this is how I recommend everybody starts when it comes to vitamins and supplements, you want to get your blood work done. I know, more needles, we're not a fan of that, but listen, it's important. It's important. You want to make sure that you're checking your B12. You want to make sure you're checking your vitamin D. Ladies, ladies, as we age, check that vitamin D, okay? You want to check all the things, not just what's your A1C, not just what's your cholesterol, right? Let's look at those vitamins and minerals. Let's see what we're starting with. And then your doctor may make, like a talk, recommendations from there. What I do not recommend is going out and buying a whole bunch of stuff. Then you've got Mag Energy with B vitamins. Then you're doing a B complex. Then you got multivitamins with B in it. Then you got this thing. And then you're taking this GLP1 reset and just like insert crazy name here. And then the next thing you know, you're starving all the time and you can't figure out why. And you're like, it's like my GLP-1's not working. But what you didn't know is that you were getting way too many B vitamins. And one thing that an increase in B vitamins will do is increase your hunger. So you may be doing yourself a disservice. So I say all of this not to say that you are doing yourself a disservice, Charlotte. I'm trying to put it in perspective for you. And I'm a little rambly. So what I would say is, if you're doing Mag Energy, I'm assuming they're claiming the energy comes from the B vitamins. You want to make sure you're not getting a bunch of B vitamins somewhere else. If you're doing that and a multivitamin, then you may want to sit down and look at how much you're getting. And if you see a doctor or a dietitian, they can look at those values and tell you, oh, this is high, this is low, this is right, because every supplement is different. And I don't know the specifics for Mag Energy. Now, I'm assuming Mag Energy has magnesium in it. It's going to depend on which one. Okay. If you're, different magnesium citrate, different from magnesium glycinate, different from magnesium sulfate, different from magnesium unicorn powder, right? Like all of these are different. They do different things. So you want to look at that too, right? Like you can really get bogged down in supplements. That's why I am very, very specific about what I use. And I actually have some supplements on the way because I want to try them out to see if they provide a good option, right? So that you're not purchasing 20 different things. I saw a lady post in one of the support groups a while ago, and she was like, hey, I just started out on a GLP-1 and this is everything I'm taking. And she, no joke, had a list that was like, scroll. She was doing like probiotics, prebiotics, postbiotics, unicorn biotics. She had like all sorts of stuff. And I said, honey, how much are you spending a month? You're spending more in supplements than you are on your GLP-1. What is really going on, right? And that's exactly what these companies want people to do. So I think you have to be strategic, get that blood work, see if there's something specific that you need. And just remember, you can make adjustments as you go. I have found that over the course of my GLP-1 journey for 2 years now, that I don't need to take magnesium all the time. When I was on 12.5 tirzepatide, I didn't have to take it at all. My constipation completely went away. My muscle spasms completely went away. I didn't need magnesium, zero. But then with 15, I had to bring it back into the fold, right? So it's not a one size fits all. It's not a you need everything, right? And it may change over time. So, Charlotte from Texas, I tip my hat to you, and I hope that that's helpful. Great question, by the way. Okay, DJ says, only difference I had with name brand and compound was dollar bills, y'all. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, Midgie's got a question. Let me scroll a little bit. Okay, the word isn't diluted, concentration of the fraction of each component. Oh, I think this was going back to me talking about compound versus right and the differences. Yes. Yeah. I was trying to put it in simple terms because not everybody knows. But yeah, the concentration. That is true. Okay. Kate DeGreat. FYI, the Lilly Direct vials are all 50 units no matter what dose they are. Yes. Yep. It's just one of those things, right? They're trying to get that patient compliance where people can't overdose themselves. Yeah. Um I don't like to cook, so I need it to be easy. I struggle with my protein. I was getting so OCD about it. I do struggle with food choices. Yeah. Go back, Pammy, go back to some of my older videos. I have a couple that are like what I eat in a day. I got so much flack on those videos. And I've been getting requests again for what I eat in a day videos. And they're coming. They're coming for you. But go back and watch those videos. And I have another video that's an older one where it's just food and it's like all these different variations of snack plates. That video has been phenomenal because I went through and found all these snack plates. Think about it like an adult Lunchable, right? You got protein, you got cheese, you got cottage cheese, you got vegetables, you got a dippy dip, right? All these different things all on one plate. And it can be really helpful and you feel like you're getting a lot of variety, but it's all small portions on a plate. Maybe that would be a good option for you so that all you have to do is buy the components and then you've got the snack plate. Pammy, go watch those videos that I did. And let's see if that helps you. If not, then come back to the live next week and we'll try some more stuff. I'll make some videos for you. Okay. Brian Silver Health Quest. Hey there. Hello, first time on a live. Enjoy the channel. Thank you so much, Brian Silver Health Quest. I super appreciate you. So glad you're here. Hey, Jennifer's here. Jennifer from Nebraska. Hey, how are you doing? How you doing? Let's see. Someone recently was convinced Lilly Direct vials were 1 milliliter, but I think the new syringes confused them. Yeah. Yeah, it's, anytime that you're not teaching people how to actually navigate what they're doing, right? And they're just on autopilot. This is why I tell people over and over and over and over again, if you are switching from one telehealth to another, if you are switching from one compound pharmacy to another, you need to take a moment and read the prescription. Read it, understand it, do not do anything until you understand it. Right? Because there can be so much difference. Some places you have this incredibly low amount of units for a big dose, right? For like a 15 milligram, right? Very, very small. Other places, you got to fill up 2 syringes to get to that same dosing, right? It just depends on who you're using. So it's so important. I wish everybody would just take the time to learn this stuff. But most people are just out there living their life, living La Vida Loca. Okay. Jennifer's given us some advice here. For sulfur burps, I use a tablespoon of either MCT oil or coconut oil. Delicious. Settles the gas and moves things along. That is a very interesting suggestion. I have not seen that before. Thank you. Thank you. If I ever get sulfur burps again, I'm going to try that. Minji says, I only got disgusting sulfur burps on semaglutide. Yeah, a lot of people struggle on semaglutide. It's rough. I have a feeling that eventually, one day, when all the other great meds hit the market, right, like 10 years from now, nobody will be on semaglutide. There are just so many people that have challenging side effects. I think it'll be the first one to go. Just, like 10 years from now, not anytime soon. Hey, Brenda's here. Hey there. I recognize that face from your comments on my channel. I'm moving up to 5 milligram in 2 weeks. I've had 0 side effects and I'm nervous. Don't be nervous. Don't be nervous. So for me, I did have side effects on 2.5. And when I moved up to 5, it was the exact same side effects again. Just remember, you want to stay on each dose as long as it's working. Okay, as long as you're losing weight. So don't be in a hurry to titrate up fast, especially if you're losing weight and having 0 side effects. You're like a unicorn, Brenda. So before you move up, please keep that in mind. Also, don't be nervous. It's really not bad. I know that some people have challenges when they go up in dose, and it can be really alarming when you look at what people talk about in the Facebook groups, but just take that with a grain of salt, right? Especially if you're starting out with 0 side effects. I mean, you're already ahead of the game. Okay. All right, let me catch up with the comments here. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun, dun. Everybody's saying hello to each other. Love that. Okay. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, Brenda's got another comment. I've been on compound terzepatide for 8 weeks. My favorite benefit so far is happiness. I love that. I have been happy every single day and have lost 15 pounds. Rock star. That's great. Good for you. Brenda's out there just getting it. Good job. I love that. And I love that you're happy. I, in turn, am happy for you. Don't forget to hit that like button. Everybody, if you haven't already, hit the like button. Don't forget. Okay. Okay. There is only one 464. There is. It's you. You the only one. What about extreme dry mouth and lethargic, even with a lot of water plus electrolytes? So the dry mouth is pretty common. The only thing that helped me, I had not only dry mouth, but I also had where you get like this awful taste in your mouth. Don't ask me where that comes from. Not fun. It's almost like kind of metallic or something. I don't know. Anyway, I would get the dry mouth and that weird taste. And the only thing that worked for me was the, what is it? Hubba Bubba cotton candy gum, right? That gum that we all used to chew as kids, like back in the day, right? The flavor lasts for all of 20 seconds, but it would completely get rid of that taste in my mouth. So something about cotton candy flavored stuff, hoping that you like cotton candy, works great when it comes to dry mouth. Like if you just keep drinking and drinking and drinking, it's not really going to do anything. But if you have gum or a lozenge or like a sugar-free hard candy or whatever floats your boat, right? Do something like that. That is really helpful with the dry mouth. The other thing you can do is like a biotin mouthwash, those are the ones that like an oral surgeon will prescribe people to take. You can just get them at like your grocery store or Walmart or whatever. But at first it was hard to get a hold of them, but now they're everywhere. They're available everywhere. Those are fantastic. And I think that one of them is specifically for dry mouth. It works. It works. I've used it multiple times. It works. They're a little bit pricey, but not the end of the world. Biotene is the name of it. So, yeah. Oh, lethargic. The only thing that worked for me for being lethargic and having fatigue on a GLP-1 is NAD plus injections. It didn't matter what supplements I took. It didn't matter what I ate. It didn't matter electrolytes, no electrolytes, sleep, no sleep. It didn't make any difference to me. And for me, I think I was one of those people where the lethargy and the fatigue is caused by the GLP-1 activating your pancreas, right? Activate pancreas. So it's a good thing, but at the same time, you're like, oh, the only thing that has helped me with that is the NAD. That's it. And if you need more information on that, I have a 2-video series where I talk about it. I talk about what it is, how it works, and then I talk about my experience because I tested it out for a few months before I told everybody about it. It's phenomenal. I still take it to this day. Love it. So yeah, that's the only thing that helped me. Okay, great. Oh, we got that same question twice. That's okay. All right. DJ says, I was stalling, thought I'd change. I also had to control hunger towards the end of the week, splitting 10, 5 on Monday, 5 on Thursday. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Well, sometimes, I mean, it may not be a good fit for everybody, right? It's just one of those things. I did something very similar when I was first starting out with split dosing and it worked for me. But again, not a one size fits all, right? You gave it a try and it didn't work out for you. And that's okay. So, but I'm so glad that you shared what you did. Okay. Madonna Design says the half-life is 5 days. Do you think taking it on the 6th day would work better? Are you talking about split dosing? So I'm going to go out on a limb. You can let me know what you were referencing. So with split dosing, usually, again, talk to your doctor. What's recommended is at least 3 days in between injections. But that depends on the doctor. Now, if you're talking about taking it once a week, but on the 6th day, because of the half-life, right? So like my shot day is Friday, today is Thursday, I'm a starving Marvin, right? So I would have taken the shot today. You can do that. Most doctors would approve of that. Again, talk to your doctor. I am a doctor. But the one thing I will say is depending on how you are getting your medication or where you're getting it from, you are going to run out of it faster. So whether it's with a telehealth company, whether it's, name brand, ordering through Lilly Direct or Novocare, whatever it is you're doing, you really have to look at it because you will run out faster if you're doing it every 6 days. Or I've seen people do it every 5 days, right? So it just depends on if you want to go that route. Brenda says, Allie, you could be a stand-up comedian. Thank you. I appreciate that. You're so funny. Were you this delightful before GLP-1s? Yes, I was. And if you would like proof, I do have a canine nutrition channel that I used to be super dedicated to. It's Padfoot Palms, Poodles, and Pals. I also have a Facebook group where I help people because I'm a canine nutritionist. But yeah, if you want a good time, you can go over and check out those videos. They're still up. I'm not currently posting to that channel, but who knows? I might come back to it one day because I do love love animals and pets and dogs and cats and orangutans. So yes, but thank you. Thank you. You're so sweet. I I've always been a bit of a character. My nemesis, if you will, in high school was this jock guy, and he was just awful. But I didn't let it get to me. But he turned and looked at me one day. We had class together and we sat right next to each other, which is horrible. There's nothing worse than having a last name that is close to the last name of your arch nemesis in high school, and then you're always stuck together in lines, in on picture day, on right, like you're always right next to each other. Anyway, so he used to sit next to me and he just like turned and looked at me one day and he was like, "You remind me of a cartoon character." And that has stuck with me my whole life because he was thoroughly frustrated that I laughed at that. And I was like, yeah, I could see that. Totally got you, dude. That makes sense. He was so mad. But I still hold true to that to this day. I am very much a cartoon character. So okay, Shelly says, same. I wake up at 3:20 or 4 a.m. wide awake. Too bad because my alarm goes off at 6. Yeah, mine too. For work, it happens so much that I'm used to it. Me too. I've been on Mounjaro now 16 months. Maintenance now. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't know why that happens. I've tried everything. Going to bed earlier, going to bed later, nothing helps. I don't know. I don't know what's going on in my brain at that time that I just wake up and I'm wide awake. And then poor Kevin, he's like, "What are you doing? Why are you on your phone? The light is so bright, man." Like he just looks at me like, "What are you doing?" Ooh, Brenda's got another question. What is the healthiest protein bar? A slab of steak. It depends on your definition of healthy. So for me, um, it needs to be a combination of a few things. And there's a little bit of give and take for each of these. So it needs to be not crazy amount of calories, right? The idea behind a protein bar is not that it is your whole meal and that it sits like a brick in your stomach. So you got to do that. It needs to have good texture. Flavor, that's a given. And it needs to have a good amount of protein in it. Don't give me some protein bar that's got like 4 grams of protein and 20 gabillion grams of sugar. Okay, that's a Snickers. You're not fooling anybody. So it's got to meet all that criteria for me. And that is very challenging. So if you're going by macros alone, then it would be, something like a Dave's bar. But for me, that is like chewing on a shoe. And I don't understand how they became so popular because they taste terrible, the texture's terrible. Yes, the macros are great, but who wants to eat a shoe? Not I. So I like the Bear Bells. They are the closest to what I would say is like a healthiest protein bar. They come in a lot of different flavor options. It just depends on what you like, right? Bear Bells. Um, it is the only protein bar that I would confidently say that if you had never tried one and you ordered like an assortment pack off of Amazon or something like that, that you would not be disappointed. It's the only one, Bear Bells. So, side note, if you're looking to try a bunch of different flavors of Bear Bells, if you can find one of those big gas stations, right? Like truckers use, like a Love's or a Jets or a, I don't know, help me out with whatever the big one is in your state. At those places, you can get an awesome assortment of protein snacks in a single form so you don't have to buy a bunch, right? Like in a assortment pack. So I just wanted to throw that out there. That's what I do. If I'm going to try a bunch of flavors or something, that's what I go for. Is the enzyme chewable? Yes. Yeah, the papaya digestive enzyme that I was talking about earlier, yes, it is chewable. Depending on which version you get, it will either taste like papaya, which is incredibly mild and neutral, or it will taste like kind of like a peppermint, which is really nice after a meal, right? Because then you got your little peppermint to freshen your breath and help you digest. See, they need me for a commercial. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Thank you, Kate. Kate is so great. Kate is so great. Wait. I didn't see the Dr. Jones video. When did you make it? It was a while ago. I may have turned it into members only because Dr. Jones got his feelings hurt. So I'll have to go look at it and see. But I may have made it members only. I do that sometimes with those videos, but yeah, it's a doozy. But I'll have to check on that for you, Brenda. A lot of those videos after they've been out, I leave them out for about 2 days and then I go ahead and turn them into members only. So you got to be quick. You got to be fast. Like that guy with the dollar bill at the end of the fishing line. He's like, you got to be quicker than that. Woo, right? That's my crazy brain. Yo mom one. Hi, Allie. Hello. I'm switching from Sema to TERS this week. Do you know if there are any studies, info comparing the two in regards to decreasing inflammation? I have an autoimmune disease. I don't have any research specifically on that. Do I think that there will be in the future? Absolutely. But I will say that of the people that I have known or followed that are in a similar situation, they have been much, much happier with tirzepatide. Just keep in mind that if you are switching from semaglutide to tirzepatide, that there may be like a trial and error adjustment period, specifically if you were on higher doses of semaglutide, right? Because when you go to tirzepatide, hopefully your doctor is starting you down at the lowest dose. And then you're going to have to kind of work your way up to get to the sweet spot. But yeah, a lot of people have had a lot of success, specifically with autoimmune diseases and tirzepatide. So I'm excited for you. You'll have to keep me posted and let me know how it's going. Okay, Francine on compound tirzepatide. Okay. 4.25. This compound pharmacies crack me up with this dosing with B12. Oh, so you're on that. Approved for Wegovy, 0.25. On TERS, 719. Few side effects. Starting Wegovy after Thanksgiving, and I'm scared about side effects. Words of wisdom for switching. Yes, make sure that you are switching over at the very lowest dose of Wegovy. I don't remember if that's 0.25. I'm so sorry. I've never done semaglutide, so I don't keep track of it. I probably should. But whatever the lowest dose is of Wegovy, that's where you want to start. So even though you've been on tirzepatide, it sounds like you weren't very high in dosing, but you definitely want to start out at the lowest dose. Make sure that you have some things on hand like Zofran, right? Prescription nausea med from your doctor. Talk to your doctor about that. Make sure you have that on hand. Just like with tirzepatide, you're going to want to stay ahead of constipation. And yeah, you're just going to see how it goes, right? But definitely keep me posted and let me know how you're doing. I think that there are quite a few people that are finding that their insurance will cover Wegovy, right? Because they're like wheeling and dealing, right? Novo Nordisk, they're like, we don't want to be the little fish in the pond. We want to make money, right? And Zepbound is like, get out of here, right? Tirzepatide. So, yeah, but I'm very happy that people are getting Wegovy covered. That's fantastic. Oh, okay. We're talking. Hey, DJ said Ben subscribe, but first live. Oh, I'm so glad that you're here. Oh my goodness. Downsized in the house. Wee! So for those of you that are new, the Downsized is an awesome channel. If you haven't checked them out, you should. I think that Christopher and Lorraine are phenomenal people, and I like to go crash their lives. So they went live yesterday, and I was getting ready to get in the shower, and I knew I wasn't going to be able to, like talk to people and interact. So of course, Christopher turns to Lorraine. He's like, "Did you tell him that we're not doctors?" And she's like, "No, I don't think so." And then he's like, "You were going to tell him we're not doctors." So then they're like, "We're not doctors," right? They're very good about being thorough. So I dropped down in the comments and I'm like, "I'm a doctor. I play one on TV." I just like saying stuff like that. I just like to just bring a little bit of levity everywhere I go. So, Christopher, Lorraine, if you're watching still, because I don't know when this comment was made, if you're still here, I love you guys. And thank you for always humoring me with my silly sense of humor in your comment section. They're always like so poised and professional, right? And I'm in the comments going, "Anna, what are you up to? Crazy thing," right? Like, harassing all their people. It's fun. It's fun times. Oh, okay. Oh, it's okay. It's Christopher. Gotcha. Lorraine is at book club. Okay, well, clearly I'm gonna have to message her and say, what are you reading for book club? Because inquiring minds want to know. But yeah, Christopher's my buddy. I love that you're here, dude. Thank you. Thank you for coming to hang out. Okay. Christy says, "Hi all. I hit Wonderland over the weekend, 135 pounds down. Holy guacamole." Christiane, you are a rock star. Look at you out there getting it 135 pounds down. That is all your hard work is paying off. That is phenomenal. I love that for you. Happy Wonderland. I don't ever know how to celebrate that. Let's like, congratulations on Wonderland. Happy Wonderland. Welcome to Wonderland. It's like, how do you respond to somebody that says that they've hit Wonderland? I always want to say something over the top, but then, right, what if they don't know me and they're just like, who is this crazy person saying welcome to Wonderland? It's me. It's Sushi. Sushi, what are you doing? What's happening? You gotta say hi to the people? You wanna say hi to everybody? Yeah, you can't have my chapstick. Okay. Oh, good girl. Kevin, you wanna come say hi to everybody? Come here, Chebin. Yes, this is Chebin. Here, everybody will be happy. They get mad at me if they don't get to see you. Okay, Sushi, we're all gonna be looking at the back of your head. Look, you're crazy. Okay. Be careful. Okay, good babies. All right, go lay down. Okay. Everybody got to see everybody. Awesome. Okay, let me get caught up to the comments here. Okay. Sarah says, not to be confused with survey says, on my 5th week of Zepbound, struggling a little this week, definitely having indigestion. Please give me some of your wisdom. I did lose 10 pounds in the first 30 days. Okay, so indigestion. This is one of the things that, like, it kind of comes and goes on a GLP-1 journey. So first of all, I know you're struggling, but just know that it's not forever. Okay. Hold on for one more day. And then one of the things that has really helped me when it comes to indigestion is I used to be one of those people that would drink a ton of liquid with my food. Now, you don't have to do this forever, and it may not work for you. So it's going to be a trial and error type thing. But for me, cutting back a little bit of that liquid, right? Because we have the delayed digestion because of the tirzepatide, it can help a little bit when it comes to indigestion. The other big key thing is tracking what you're eating, right? Be mindful. Is there something that you're eating over and over again that's causing it? Okay, keep that in mind. And of course, as I have said 20 gabillion times tonight, and I will say it 20 gabillion times again, digestive enzyme. It is such a game changer, especially if you're just going through like a phase where you're just having a lot of indigestion and it doesn't seem to be attributed to a specific food type. Digestive enzymes is the way to go. I never leave home without it. So I would say that if you're constantly having indigestion, digestive enzyme before you eat your food, take it again after you eat. If you still feel yucky after an hour or two, take some more, right? And if you're looking for the one that I recommend, it'll be linked in any of my videos, right? You just go down to the description box and it's right there. You get it off Amazon. It's very affordable, right? It's not one of those expensive ones. It's fantastic. Pammy says, those roasting videos crack me up. Have you ever heard any negative feedback from the person you've roasted? So yes, I have. But also, I have also received an apology once. So I roasted somebody and I roasted them good. They left a pretty negative, gnarly comment, and I gave them what for. I mean, I still kept it like PG, right? Like I'm not going like full Comedy Central, even though I could. And you guys would probably love those, but I try to keep it PG-13. And they emailed me and said, "Hey, I just wanted you to know that you were right. I should not have left that crappy comment, and I am so sorry. I was having a bad day yesterday, and I really just took it out on you, and yeah." So, I did take that video down for them. They didn't ask me to, but I did do it because I felt like, you know what? If you are ballsy enough to send me an apology after I've roasted you to extra crispy level, then I think it's fair enough that I take it down. So yeah. So but yeah, I've had people that have emailed me and they're like, most of the time it's people that just want to defend their position, right? But we already knew that it was a bad take. So, but yeah, but most of the time, no. They just want to kind of creep away. But most of the negative feedback that I get are on the roasting videos. I think that people find my channel from some of the informational content that I do, and then when I do a roasty video, it's very shocking to them because they're like, "Wait, what? I joined you because you were telling me the 10 reasons why I stopped losing weight on Zepbound," right? And then they're like, "Oh, they didn't look at any of my other content," which is totally fine. but it's very jarring for them. And then they're like, how did I get here? Who are you? Listen, I am like a parfait. Okay, I have layers, not like an onion. So anyway, Pammy, I love that you love those videos. I know every time I put one out that I'm gonna get flack from people. Okay, good. Da, 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 da. Okay, extreme dehydration, like very, very dry mouth, even with 80 ounces of water with pink salt and electrolytes every day. That seems like a lot. I mean, if you are having legit extreme dehydration and you're doing all of that, you may want to talk to your doctor. Because there may be something else at play there. So, I mean, if it's just like a little bit of dry mouth, sure. But if you're hydrated and you're doing electrolytes, because remember, you don't want your electrolytes to be out of whack. Sometimes more electrolytes, especially if you are not hardcore doing cardio or working out and sweating profusely, if you are not doing those things, you don't need pink salt and electrolytes every day. And you can actually get further out of whack, right? If your hydration is up here and your electrolytes are down here, right? The same can happen in reverse. So if it's really bad, there's only one. I think that you should talk to your doctor and see if there's some advice that they can give you. Okay. Me either. I plan on staying on tirzepatide the rest of my life. Oh, yeah. Okay. Pammy says, Allie, that's me. Are you at your goal weight? So that is a very good question. Technically, no, because I never set a goal weight. Dun, dun, dun. Right? It's like, what do you mean? You're on a weight loss journey and you didn't set a goal weight? What's happening? How do you know when to stop? Listen, I'm over here winging it, okay? We are in Wingville, Tennessee. I don't know why I picked Tennessee. It just sounded like a Tennessee type of name. Anyway, so I kind of have like an idea, but at the same time, I'm also very mindful that I have quite a bit of loose skin, right? Which all, of course, counts as weight. And so I don't want to set a goal weight that's too low and then become frustrated because I can't reach that number because I have loose skin, right? So in order to completely eliminate that frustration, I don't have a goal weight in mind. So we will just see. Specifically speaking, my weight right now, I am still technically in the overweight category as far as like BMI goes, which we all know is BMI is garbage. So yeah, I figure, well, I'm still in the overweight category, so I'm not there yet. You know, if we went by BMI, which I mean, who does that? Our entire insurance system. That's who does. Okay. Down in the Dale. All right, down in the Dale. Hello. I'm currently on 5 milligram Mounjaro. Start weight 287. Hey, that's close to mine. Current weight 263.2. Love the 0.2. A1C down in 3 months. Excellent. From 7.3 to 5.8. Holy guacamole, man. You did great with your A1C. Wait, and you're on 5 milligrams? That's fantastic. I can't wait for my next doctor's appointment. That's such a cute thing to say. Never in my life have I said that. That's so funny. Yeah. It's wild, right? Well, I love that you're here, first and foremost. And secondly, you are doing amazing. Good for you. I love that. I love when, some people are having, success even at lower doses. Like, I'm getting choked up about it. Okay. Sorry. I got all choked up about down in the Dale. I'm so happy for you. Okay. Brian says, I always hear that type 2 diabetics lose weight slower, but I don't hear is why. Have you found an answer? So there are a couple of different things when it comes to why do they lose slower. There is research that's being done specifically as it relates to the gut microbiome. And I'm drawing a blank right now. I apologize. I want to say it's like something T4, something with a 4. Anyway, it's something in our microbiome that kind of actively works against us when it comes to losing weight. And there's a lot more scientific stuff that goes into that. I just kind of briefly looked at it. I think that the experience for type 2 diabetics is so widely and wildly different for each individual. It's hard to say, right? Because there are some people on a GLP-1 that lose slower and they're not type 2 diabetics. The other thing that I will say, and Brian, this is my hot take just for you, is I feel like, just my opinion, that many times type 2 diabetics end up getting in their own way. Don't come for me in the comments. Listen. Hear me out. If you go and join a diabetic only support group, meaning you're not allowed to talk about weight loss, you will see some of the worst advice about being on a GLP-1. I can tell you that straight off the bat. I see it every single day. The things that these people are saying that their doctors are telling them to do, the worst I have seen for those taking GLP-1s. Like those who are just on it for weight loss, they get better advice. And then what happens is these type 2 diabetics, they join these groups, right? And then they get sucked into this bubble and they don't take any information from anybody out here that's saying, hey, there's a lot more that this is, that you can do, and hey, you can try this and, do these things. And they're like, no, I'm just taking it to control my A1C. I'm not trying to lose weight. And then the next post that they make, a couple weeks later is like, oh, I'm really disappointed because my blood sugars are so high and their diet's terrible. Okay, well, we got to do all the things, right? This is a tool. You got to do all the things. So, in many cases, I think that we will find in the future that for type 2 diabetics, there is specifically biological reasons why, but also on a social experiment type of level, I think they're getting the worst advice, both from, these type of support groups and also potentially, PCPs who are not endocrinologists, who are not obesity specialists, whose only goal is to get their A1C under control, and they're not trying to help them reverse the type 2 diabetes, right? That's where it all falls short. And it's incredibly frustrating, especially for somebody like me who has worked with a lot of people, right? Now, as far as being type 2 diabetic, which I am, I was incredibly fortunate that I was a hyper responder. So, just want to throw that out there in full transparency, because I know some people, they get really frustrated, right? Because they got the diabetes and they're losing weight slowly. Listen, it all counts. So Brian, you've had some great questions tonight. I'm so glad that you're here. Keeping me on my toes. Jazzy's laughing. Brenda's laughing. I'm trying to catch up to everything. Okay. Okay. B-Bear. All right, B-Bear. What we got going on? Phoenix, Arizona. I love it. Hot and spicy. Been on tirzepatide for 9 weeks, 20 pounds down. I don't know why I read everything with like a southern twang tonight. It's just what I'm doing. I'll mix it up for the next live. I'll pick a different accent. Your videos help normalize my experience. Oh, good. And I'm so grateful for you and your weirdness. I love you. I am weird from way back. I'm a weirdo from way back. I love that. Thank you. And I'm so glad that you're here, right? So we can all be weird together. That's the only and best way to be weird. But I love that. Thank you so much. And I'm glad that my videos are helping you. Okay. Roxanne says, have to stop for 2 weeks due to upcoming surgery. Yeah, pretty standard. Feeling worried about it, but no, don't worry. I'm on week 14 on 2.5, so I have options to go up. Good. So you got to stop for 2 weeks. I would highly recommend that you just stay on the 2.5. Right? I don't know what your plans are as far as going up. I would just stay on the 2.5. That way you can just be on 2.5 right after you get back on it. It'll be that much easier when you come back from your surgery. By the way, I hope everything goes really well for you for your surgery. Yeah, I think you're going to do great. So I know that there are a lot of people that worry, right, when they have to come off of a GLP-1 for a procedure. I find just from, again, anecdotal research that I've done that people do really well. Usually, if they're having some kind of surgery, you're going to gain a little bit of water weight and inflammation, right, related to said surgery, whatever it may be, but it drops off pretty fast once they get back on the tirzepatide, and then they're boom, 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 right, on to the next. So don't worry. You're going to be just fine. Okay, Brenda said, I had to start making my own electrolyte drinks. I don't know why, but I am envisioning Brenda like with beakers and flasks, and she's like, it's like, looks like a meth lab down in the basement, but really she's just making electrolyte drinks. That's what's coming to my mind right now, Brenda. Okay? That you had to start making your own electrolyte drinks. I know it's not that complicated, but I like to share what's in my brain with you. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. So much cheaper. Pink salt and 1/4 top. Maybe that was supposed to be maybe tablespoon, teaspoon. We're putting it on top of something. We're going to take the pink salt and we're going to put 1/4 of it on top. Okay. Potassium chloride powder in Crystal Light while wearing the pink salt, and also 2 Tums because we like the flavor. I mean, for calcium. Brenda, I love that. It's fantastic. You got to tell me why are you putting the pink salt on top? What's up with that? Is that like where you just throw it over your shoulder, right? It was like, oh no, I spilled the salt just over the shoulder. Is that like a superstitious thing with the pink salt on top? Okay. I'll stop. Okay. I'll quit. Sarah says, what is NAD? NAD is, we're coughing. Take it easy, guys. NAD short version. Go watch the 2 videos that I made about NAD to get all the specifics. Short version, it is something that we naturally produce in our body. And as we age, we start to produce less of it. And by taking it in injection form specifically, it can really help with fatigue and energy and overall just making you feel better. So that's the very, very short condensed version. That is the Cliff Notes of NAD, but there's a lot more to it. So I made 2 videos about it. Definitely go watch those. Hey, what is going on? Kevin, what's happening? What's happening, buddy? Are you giving your mom a hard time? Are you being bad? Don't be bad. You better be good. Kevin, listen. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Kevin. You're a good boy. Your ears are so cold. Okay. We go lay down. Be a good boy. I know it's past your bedtime. It's okay. We'll go to bed soon. You're a good boy. Okay. All right. Be careful. Okay. Go lay down. Okay. We are almost at that time. We're wrapping it up. The dogs are like, what's going on? Why are we staying up so late? Okay. But I saw that Nicole was here. Hello. So glad that you're here. Okay. Miss Ella J, I didn't see the Dr. Jones video. Should I avoid his team? Not necessarily. So to be fair to Dr. Jones, he says a lot of things that are very good. Okay? But he and I also differ in opinion on quite a few subjects. So should you avoid him? I wouldn't say it's that extreme. I would say, you can just watch his stuff and judge for yourself if he's a good fit for you. But yeah, basically the video, since you didn't see it, was he made these really broad kind of sweeping statements, overgeneralizations, and I was kind of poking fun at him for it because he made it seem like it was a one size fits all type of situation, and I personally felt like it was a little misleading. But he's not a bad guy, right? Not a bad guy at all. I know that there are a lot of people like, he does coaching and all sorts of stuff. And, he posts shirtless on TikTok and all that, right? Like, so yeah, it's just something where people, you got to decide for yourself, right? Like not everybody is going to be a good fit for everybody. There are some people that don't like my content, right? I think that they're from Mars. They think I'm from Venus, right? I'm right. So I'm just kidding. Okay. Q. Have you ever felt more suppression towards the end of the week? Yes. Just finished first week of 7.5. Super hungry at the start of the week. Not hungry later in the week. Not sure if it's even working. It is. So, Chanda, you're going to have to let me know which injection site you were using because I always ask that question when somebody says this. I have found that for some people, myself included, certain injection sites will do this, where you don't have suppression at the beginning of the week when we're normally used to having it. And then all of a sudden it kicks in and starts going like gangbusters. And it's like, oh my goodness, I can't even eat a whole sandwich, right? And it gets crazy. And then you're like, shot day comes and you're like, oh yeah, I'm supposed to take my shot. I'm not even hungry, right? But yes, I think it has to do with absorption rates for different sites. So yeah, so let me know. Okay, Goody Doris says, have you ever heard of a peptide GHK-CU? Yes, I have. Anti-aging peptide injection. Looks promising. So, Goody Doris, thank you so much for this question. I tried GHK-CU and it did absolutely nothing. I think that it gets a lot of hype. I think that it is pretty and blue and that's a selling feature. I think it hurts every time you inject it. and I found that it did absolutely nothing. So for me, it was a no-go. This is some of the challenges that many of these peptides have. There's a reason, and everybody should keep in mind that there's a reason why many of these peptides did not get picked up by Big Pharma, right? Because they were either in studies and they only found them to be 50% effective, right? Which is not effective enough to then take it to market, or, right, they had side effects, or they didn't have side effects, or they didn't have results, or they didn't have results in the time frame of the study. Look, many of them have all sorts of different um variations, right? And this is just one of those things. Now, I will say that I have followed quite a few creators who have done the GHKCU in a topical form that was a specific formulation with other things specifically for hair growth. So they were doing microneedling and then a GHKCU plus other stuff, right? So basically, you're making tiny abrasions, if you will, on the scalp, and then you're taking the medication and really getting it in there. And those people seem to have good results. So, do I think there's a place for GHKCU? Potentially. That may be the way to go. Do I think it is the anti-aging, oh, take this now, look 10 years younger, right? Like, I've seen so much stuff. Do I think it's that? No. Or at best, it'll be helpful for about 50% of people, right? It's just one of those things. So, great question. Great question. I've got some other peptides that I'm going to be trying coming up soon. So I will, of course, give you guys updates on that. I don't normally talk about the ones that don't work, right? So, yeah. But Goody Doris, great question. Okay. Also, too much B vitamins might give you diarrhea. Yes. As your body tries to thin out B concentration in your system, be careful with B vitamins. Yes, that's very true. And no one likes diarrhea. Okay. Simple terminology for concentration. Think frozen concentrate orange juice. I loved that stuff as a kid. Okay, you have to tell me in the comments because I'm going to have to jump off of here soon. But let me know, when you were a kid, did your parents get the frozen concentrate juice, whether it was apple juice, orange juice, fruit punch, whatever? Did you ever offer to make the juice just so you could take a bite of that frozen tube of stuff, the juice concentrate? Let me know in the comments. Let me know. If you're watching the replay, let me know if you would take a bite of the juice concentrate. I think that was like the best thing ever. It was way too strong, but it was the best thing ever. I love that. Brenda says, I really want to see the Dr. Jones video. Can someone tell me when it was posted or direct me to it? Yeah. So, Brenda, I'll have to look here when I get off of the live and see if I can link it for you. So, it's, what is it called? It's called Dr. Jones Archaeologist something. I don't know. It was a while ago. I was a hot mess then. But yeah. Yeah, don't let me forget about it, and I'll find it for you. I'm pretty sure it's in the roast playlist, and it may be set to members only. So I'll have to double check for you. But either way, I'll make it so you can see it. Okay. Actually, what I meant, my question is, does anyone lose 10 pounds at a time and then stall a few months? Yes. Yeah, there are a lot of people do that. Yeah. And then Brenda was actually mentioning that in the next comment, the whoosh. Yes. So I have a video on this, but short version is what ends up happening is that your body, first and foremost, with the whoosh effect, your fat cells are filling up with water, right? You're getting rid of the fat and they're filling up with water. And then it's like, whoo, right? And it flushes out. And then it's a little flat fat cell because we don't actually lose fat cells. So yeah, that's that whoosh. But yeah, so our bodies don't lose weight on a schedule. This is the main problem when it comes to weighing yourself once a week because your body's not like, oh, look, it's shot day at exactly 7 a.m. It's time for me to weigh in. I guess I better let go of that weight, right? Your body doesn't do that. For me, I don't lose weight until anywhere from day 8 to day 11 after the week of calorie deficit, right? That's just how my body functions. But see, if you're not weighing yourself every day, you're not going to know that. So this is why I recommend people that are just starting out on a GLP-1 to weigh themselves every day for 2 weeks so that they can have a really good understanding of the up and down. Now, back to your question, which is not what I was just saying. Yes, there are some people that lose weight like this. It's just the way it goes. They'll lose a lot of weight all at once, and then they'll stall out for a little while, and then they'll start losing weight again. It just depends on your body. Okay. All right. We are out of time. But I'm going to run through here and make sure that I don't miss anybody's questions. Okay. I have neuropathy, and I noticed a significant decrease in my symptoms within the first 2 weeks on a GLP-1 that I think is due to the anti-inflammatory effects. Do you know of any studies about this? Yeah. So not specifically, but I think that they will do studies on it in the future. But yes, this is that's your experience is right tracking just like with other people that have those same challenges. So yeah. Okay. Okay, Kate said, Allie, when you started talking about the funny taste in your mouth and you said the only thing that cured it was, I swear I thought you were going to say cowbell. What is wrong with me? More cowbell. That's too funny. I love that. It's like our brains are so similar. Okay. Oh my goodness, Jenny, I made it. It's 2:30 a.m. here in Sweden. Oh my goodness, I'm sending you the biggest hug. I hope that you are in bed, okay, relaxing. I hope that you have a wonderful night. That's so sweet. I love that. Man, we have people from New Zealand and Australia and Sweden. Fantastic. Okay. Oh, let's look at Jenny's comment. Okay, I hit goal weight and beyond 2 weeks ago, down 79 pounds since January 17th. That's fantastic. So happy. Been to my dietitian since we changed the goal to 154 pounds, currently 163, to create a buffer. Yes, always good to have a buffer. Absolutely. Jazzy agreed with me. She said, yes, I agree. David Barr is like chewing on a shoe. I was so disappointed. So disappointed. Everybody was hyping up the David bars. I wanted to like them. I bought a whole bunch of them to do a review. I still haven't eaten half of them because I can't bring myself to do it. They're just sitting around going bad, right? Hey, Amy's here. Howdy from North Kakalaki. I love it. If you got 2 comments from me, sorry, phone wasn't being my friend. For the first time this morning, I did thigh injection. Ouch. Yeah. Yeah, I have lost a considerable amount of weight in my thighs, and I can't do thigh injections anymore. Not that it's injecting into muscle or something like that, right? No, that's not happening. It's just uncomfortable. There's not as much padding as there used to be. Downsized. Hey girl, hey. How you doing? Okay. Da, 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 da. All right, I'm just scrolling through looking for questions. Diane said, keep off the carbs. Mahalo. Yes. Keep off the grass. Mahalo. If you don't know what we're talking about, you'll have to go back and rewatch some of my old lives because we talk about all sorts of stuff. Okay. Everybody loves parfait. Okay. Have layers like a parfait. Okay. The roasting makes me giggle, and sometimes I need that. Yeah, I think everybody does, right? We can't take ourselves too seriously. We certainly can't take other people too seriously. I most certainly do not take myself seriously. So, I challenge you to say seriously more times in one sentence. Okay. I heard vitamin D can play a big part in GLP-1 effectiveness for weight loss. Yes, I have also heard this. Um, I haven't been able to find anything that backs it up, but I see a lot of people posting it over on TikTok. They're like, "Are you on a GLP-1? Are you taking vitamin D? Here's the supplement. Buy this vitamin D." Right? Like I see it all the time and I'm just like, "Is that really a thing?" I mean, most people, right, can be low in vitamin D. That's why I recommend you get your blood work. But do we really need to buy your vitamin D supplement? Is it really already in our multivitamin, right? Like I'm always skeptical. So, but yes, I have seen that. Wingville, wing-a-ling. I almost said wing-a-ling. I said that in a video too. Okay, Jenny's going to bed. Good night, Jenny. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here. We're going to wrap it up here. Oh, okay. Brian says, my type 2 is well controlled via diet before starting Mounjaro. Good for you. That's awesome. Just trying to figure out why the weight loss has stopped, down 20 pounds since May, but up 4 pounds in the last 2 months. On 7.5 now. It's 7.5. 7.5. This happens. I would love for somebody to fund me to do the research. If I had $1 for every time anyone said this same scenario and they said they were on 7.5, I would be rich. I would be retiring. Brian, we could both retire because it's something about 7.5. And I don't know what it is. I can't explain it. I haven't found any information on it. But so many people, type 2 diabetic and not, completely stall out on 7.5. It happened to me. It happened to a lot of people I know. Some people, that's their favorite dose and they love it, but they are in a very special minority group. Most people, they stall out on 7.5. They go through it so fast. And I almost wonder if in the study, that's how they came up with that whole, oh, this is just a transitional dose, right? Like some doses they label as therapeutic and some doses they don't. I wonder if 7.5 is the culprit. If it just came into the room and the doctors were like, you again? But you're not doing anything. We're doing all the things and you're not doing your job. And 7.5's like, hey man, I just show up where they tell me to. I don't know. Brian, I don't know. But you are not alone. And I would be willing to say that if you talk to your doctor about going up, it may start the weight loss again. And again, I can't explain it. It's just 7.5. It's just the way it is. Okay. Was your type 2 under control before you started your GLP-1 journey? So I'm going to say no, but I started Mounjaro immediately after being diagnosed type 2 diabetic. So, if I'm perfectly honest with you, my A1C was like always kind of high borderline, but not enough, right, to kick me over. So, I would say, was it under control? No, but I don't have any information to back that up, right? I wasn't like doing the finger stick, checking blood sugar, I wasn't doing any of those things. Actually, all of my issues that led to my type 2 diagnosis were related to my blood pressure. So, it was kind of a 1-2 punch where I was just falling apart at the seams. And yeah, so I'm sorry I don't have a better answer for you. I know that many people they get diagnosed with type 2 diabetes and they try other meds. They've been that way for quite some time. That wasn't the case for me. So yeah. Okay. Catching up, catching up. Okay. Okay, Tara said, I'm so glad you said that, Allie, because I'm supposed to get a colonoscopy and I've been putting it off because I don't want to come off tirzepatide. Yeah. Mainly because I'm still losing. Yeah. It's going to be okay. Many, many doctors now are just having their patients come off of tirzepatide for like a week and a half, not even a full 2 weeks. So you'll want to talk to your doctor about that part. But yeah, there's a lot of people that they come off of it 2 weeks, they're totally fine. Or a week, they're totally fine. So yeah, so don't worry. I would say go get it done. Don't put it off, right? We're trying to make sure we're on a health journey, not just a weight loss journey. So do the thing. Okay. Naturalista has a question, and then we're going to have to wrap it up. Hey, Allie, did you use sedentary for your TDEE whenever you calculated it, even if you were exercising? Yes. Do you always track your calories? Yes and no. So, first part of your question, yes, because these calculators are not 100% accurate, right? And when you start adding in exercise, sometimes they will give you a whole bunch of extra calories, right? Like, what is a moderate amount of exercise? Your idea of moderate and my idea of moderate may be two totally different things. And what does this website say is moderate? Well, it may differ from this other website and what it says is moderate amount of exercise, right? Too many variables. I am the type of person where I want a baseline and then I can go from there. So, yes, I would choose sedentary for the tdeecalculator.net. And then I would scroll down and go to the cutting, right? Which is to lose weight, to be in a deficit. And then you can take that as your bottom baseline. Now, if you're a very short individual, I am so sorry, but it's likely going to be off and you're likely going to need to work with a dietitian. But it's a good starting baseline number. And then you add up from there, right? So if you're doing a lot of exercise, if you're doing a lot of cardio, if you're doing a lot of weightlifting, then you can add in, a couple hundred calories and see how you do. If you stop losing weight, okay, this may be too many calories. Let's bring it back down. This is why it's really important to track. Now, to your point about tracking, do I always track? No. But, and this is a big but, a big old booty. So, but when I started out in the first 6 to 8 months of my GLP1 journey, I tracked everything because I was learning portion sizing, calories, how to eyeball stuff. I was measuring food, right? So I was doing all the things. So now I can kind of eyeball a piece of chicken and say, okay, that's probably going to be like 4.5 ounces because I've measured it out so many times that I can eyeball it and kind of get close. Now, when I am actively trying to lose weight, I'm not awake. Weight, then yes, I track everything. Currently, I am doing like a self-induced stall, also known as calorie cycling, also known as eating at maintenance level, right? So I'm not in a deficit. For the most part, again, because I taught myself how to do this, I am able to do just kind of some eyeball tracking. And if I need to, if I think I went like way over, I can plug it into MyFitnessPal or, whatever app you're using. So yeah. So I do both. But when I started out, I was religiously tracking so that I could teach myself what to look for because I had a very, very, very bad relationship with food. I never knew what it was like to be full until I had a GLP-1. I was either hungry all the time or overeating to the point of it being painful. That is how I lived my life. And then I got on a GLP-1 and then I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is what it feels like to be full. This is what it feels like to have your brain say, 'Hey, you've had enough.'" Right? That was totally new for me. So, yeah. Everybody's talking about eating the OJ concentrate. I love that. You guys are so awesome. No juice concentrate in our house because my bro has ADHD. It was so bad that he had no sugar in the house. Oh yeah, I remember that. There was there probably still is like a phase of parenting where, ADD, ADHD, right? Like all those kids, it was like they can have zero sugar, they cannot live at all, right? I remember that as a kid. Okay, try tummy tonight. See what happens. Yes, see what happens. Okay, right. Wrapping it up. Dun dun dun. Okay. If I'm missing your comment or your question here at the end, I am so, so sorry. Please don't be mad. Oh, look, Tara's got to go too. She's going to bed. We're all going to bed. I have to agree. 7.5 is the enemy. Yes, it is. Okay, we got a question. Okay. I started GLP-1 in June and I was eating a lot of yogurt and protein shakes, and then I broke out in eczema. So I figured it was either the whey protein when I started taking and then I started taking pea protein. Okay, Rosa, and did it go away? Did it get better? Oh, then I heard pea protein may have too many metal pesticides, etc. Any recommendations? Yeah, I think that you should try some different protein options and see what agrees with you. I am not one of those people that gets caught up in the metals, pesticides, all the things, right? Like we live in a world where everything is trying to get you, right? Plastic is trying to get you. Plastic is trying to get you, right? Like we we already have so much to worry about on a health journey, trying to improve our lives that for me, getting bogged down in stuff like that is just overwhelming and discouraging. And for me, it leads to a lot of negative headspace. So I don't give it any headspace. Now, am I trying to get things that are healthy? Yeah, absolutely. Um, but at the same time, you're going to have to do some trial and error to find what works for you. So I would say try pea protein and see how it does. Try you know, some other protein options and see how that works out for you, right? Sometimes it's the milk, sometimes it's the lactose, sometimes it's the, you know, the whey protein, right? Like you got to do a little bit of trial and error to see what works for you. But I would say be very careful about getting bogged down in this type of stuff. It's very easy to go down a very negative rabbit hole. And unfortunately, that's just the world we live in, right? We're not in a bubble. We're not out there living off the land, right? If we could do that and all sustain ourselves, I think that would be great. I would love that. I would have a little farm and grow my own stuff, right? I can't even keep my basil alive from my herb garden. I'm constantly killing that thing off, right? So just, try some different options, but take everything with a grain of salt, right? And eventually you will find something that works for you. And I've got some product reviews that are going to be coming up soon. So Rosa, if you have not subscribed, make sure you do. And that way, maybe one of those things that I test out might be a good fit for you. Okay. You are very welcome. Good night. Everybody's saying good night, good night, good night. I literally just found your page. I will subscribe. Thank you. Oh, I love your little picture. She's so cute. I'm on a GLP-1 and lost 84 pounds so far. Nice. Jay, you are out there killing it. I love it. Great job. Keep up the good work. Okay. And keep us posted. Okay, guys, I'm wrapping it up for the night because I have to go to bed. I am effectively turning into a pumpkin as we speak. You may in fact see me start to turn orange. Thank you so much for being here tonight. Thank you guys for all of the awesome questions. I super appreciate you. If you're watching on the replay, make sure you put replay down in the comments. If you are new and this was your first live, thank you so much for being here. And make sure that you hit that subscribe button and you go check out my other live videos because we do this every week. We have so much fun and we talk about so much GLP-1 stuff, tips, tricks, things that can be helpful for you on your health journey. So make sure that you go check those out. Remember, if you're fighting with your insurance company and you're not getting anywhere, they're pushing back, they're not approving your PA, make sure to check out the link in the little ticker down here, claimable, getclaimable.com, code FitFlavorFun. It will save you money on an already affordable process that will help you, and they have an incredible success rate. There was somebody who just posted in the support group. They were able to use Claimable, getclaimable.com, and they were able to get their Zepbound approved, and it only took 9 days. Their doctor's office had been at it for 2 months. So definitely, if you are having challenges with that, check it out. If you're looking for helpful products that were created specifically for people who are on a GLP-1, make sure you check out Biocare. It'll be linked. And as always, be kind, rewind. And don't forget that as you leave stage left, make sure you hit that like button because it helps my channel. And I love you guys. Okay. Good night.